Hello one and all, and welcome to the LOE Division 2 Championship. We are here for round 13 of the title race in Monza, the Temple of Speed here in Italy. And we've got a full grid, 20 drivers to tackle the fastest track on the calendar, one of the most iconic as well. And as we prepare for this qualifying session, and I will introduce to you my co-commentator, as per usual, QVR Verstappen.
Hello everyone, and I'll be commentating here with Dake, of course, once again in D2. And well, we've made it a ritual, don't we? Gary Donegan is the first one out on track.
Oh, you just, it's just a given. It's as certain as the stream itself now. That we will immediately move on. Yeah, that's certainly... Gary, please don't let us down in future races. This is now a certified part of our introduction, so yeah, keep it going, lads. So here we are then, the Temple of Speed, round 13, and of course, the big movement in the championship, of course, in the last round at Spa, because of course, Cookie Games from the lead had an issue with his throttle pedal where it, unfortunately for him, just went straight to full throttle, putting him in a wall, and of course he was out of contention for the race when at that point. Gary inherited that championship by what I believe is 24 points ahead of Cookie Games now. I TV XCI Dan is still within contention, he's another 8 points back I think, but it's looking a little bit more unlikely there for the Dutchman in Mercedes. He's got more of a mountain to climb. Gary now starts his first tour of the circuit here at Monza there as you fly it down to the first chicane there, over 350 kilometers an hour there, hard on the brakes now, take this second gear for the first part and first through this second part there, trying to rotate the car through the exit now, powering through around the Carro Grande there towards Della Roggia there. You see again the speed just climbing there, it's unbelievable here at Monza, and now onto the brakes for the start of the second sector. Takes a nice curve on the inside, runs it out onto the outside curve as well, nice and tidy to the second chicane, and now to the Lesmo corners there, medium speed, two right-handers, navigates the first one very nicely there, and now the second, clips the curves nicely on the inside and outside. DRS open on the run down towards Ascari, named after the legendary Italian racing driver Alberto Ascari there, flying it down in almost 350 kilometers again, clips the inside curve, hooks it over the second curve and lunges the car over the third curve there. Exit now, powering down towards the famed Parabolica curve there. This track littered with iconic corners, and this is certainly one of them rare. Into Parabolica, fourth gear, get as close as you can to that inside curve there, run it out onto the AstroTurf on the outside there, power it to the line, and Gary Donegan will open up the session with an 18.9 there, which is a pretty good time actually, and we'll see some of the drivers trying to get out there. Killer Blue as well, sitting time, White Rabbi also on the board. We'll see how it all shapes up through the rest of the session, but Gary's still on pole for the moment.
Yeah, a few guys come across the line then, and we have Macro MP3, Nico MP6 coming across the line, one of the Haas drivers, Daniel into P8, and there was an Alpine probably starting his lap. B Morgan into P5, it's all going quite quickly here. The two Toros has come in, and XCI Dan on the outlap, and I think the Red Bulls are also on outlaps or invalidated, as Jaco has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane.
Dear, don't know what's going on there then.
Yeah, probably has tried to let people through, and yeah, the game often decides to.
That's bitterly unlucky for the McLaren. Start from the back of the grid. He's going to have to hope for better fortune in the race course. It can all happen very quickly.
Super Gamer coming up to P8.
Super Gamer indeed, 8th place for the moment there. Of course, Garrett, the one man to dip into the 18 so far. And I won't talk about a bet I've made until the end of this session, actually, see if anyone actually. I think Cookie Games knows exactly what I'm talking about there. I'm currently watching XCI Dan head towards the Sky. Pretty heavy traffic there. That's his teammate over on the inside of the corner there. I think he's taken very cautious through the first part of the corner now opens up the taps in the 8th gear, down the back straight towards Parabolica. He's getting a bit of a toe from the Toro Rosso ahead of Iro Dillon there. Hopefully interrupted too much with this final corner there. Dan onto the throttle there. I believe Oysons may have put himself up near the front there. P3 for the Irishman. Dan crosses the line, only P13. He's on the soft as well, so he's going to have to try and improve on that time there. Cookie Games as well coming towards Parabolica.
Yeah, and he's decent lap, it seems. Down into 4th, quickly shifts up into 5th, down into Parabolica. And takes a tight line up the line, and he comes across in 8th gear on 119.033 into 2nd place.
And so it begins. The rivalry between Gary and Cookie looks like it's going to be kicked in a high gear. Of course, a very, very important race in the context of the championship. Gary has a chance to move himself clear of a race win of Cookie. Cookie has an opportunity to pull it back and get back into some solid contention, even get himself close to the championship lead if fortune is on his side today. So we've still got a few drivers yet to cite times. I'm seeing Dylan is just coming into a sky there. Apparently purple to the second sector. He runs over the second curb, and yet that's going to be invalid. So he will not be able to complete that lap there.
Maurice in behind though.
Yeah, Maurice on a lap as well, and he's going to get a nice slipstream here from XCI. Dan actually powering down. You can see the speed that's going to get him up to there. Pulls out from the two of the Mercedes, then up to 340 nearly kilometers an hour on the brakes now for the final corner. Takes the curb nicely on the inside, runs it out to the outside on the throttle now. Up to the line there. Eloy Maurice does a 19.8 P11 for the moment there. Of course, we will be seeing some times improving as we're at a bit of a quiet point in this session now. A lot of drivers on out laps or in the pits, or a couple of them on in laps. So we're just waiting to see any drivers that's trying to start flyers there. So we'll look to see who's going to be starting a lap very soon.
I think the next one to start the lap will be Rick.
Yeah.
So he's into Ascari now. Difficult combination of corners really. You want to take the curves, but not too much that it either validates your lap or basically sends you flying over the curve in the third parts. He's coming up to Parabolica now. Probably same one of the easiest corners these times. He's coming around and starts his lap. Comes in 8th gear across the line with 330 already, opening the DRS, and this is going to be some high speeds. I think they reach 352 before breaking down into the first chicane. Into first gear, he even takes the corner quite nicely. His third out of the second corner into the curve of Grande, takes a tight line, and yeah, does it quite nicely. Of course, a lot of flat out bits here, so not too much to talk about. Coming down, and he has purple, it looks like, 1.5 tenths improvement down into 4th and 5th corner. That's a Lesmo 1 now. Difficult one, takes it quite wide, but leans in towards the corner in the second part of it. And Lesmo 2 coming out and opening the DRS now onto Ascari. Probably the most difficult corner on this track. Coming down, another one purple, 2.5 tenths up it seems like. Quite conservatively through Ascari. It's going down the bit of oversteer on the exits and opens the throttle once again down into Parabolica. 340 almost once again. Braking, 5th gear, 4th gear, up back to 5th, onto the green, a bit of AstroTurf. And coming across the line, where does he come out? Rick comes out in P3. Good lap from the McLaren driver.
Very tidy lap indeed then. I'm seeing Killer Blue was getting a tow from his teammate Eloy Mark then, as he enters Parabolica there for the second time in this session. Was up at the front on this first run, so we'll see if he improves further than the Ferrari. Up to the line now, and he does go pole by just a couple of hundredths of a second. Of course, we're still waiting for some of the other big hitters set times, but that's a bit good lap from Killaboo there as he leads his teammate on Eloy Mark to set up for another hot lap. Killaboo 195 on provisional pole just for the moment.
We see Daniel coming across the line. Let's see where he comes out into P11 then. The two Toro Rossos. Let's see. I don't think they are improving. They might be just starting the lap. So I think one of the rebels, Maledictus, I think is coming across Parabolica now. On the exits, opens the throttle and comes across the line. Let's see where he comes out. He sets a 119.306 into P7.
decent lap from PSC Maldex. He's going to lead on to Cookie Games, who has been, I'll tell you what, he's been setting the world alight so far through the week there. He's probably the favourite going into this race, and I say that bit of a commentator's curse because he's cut the inside of turn 1 and he will not improve on his time for now. Neither will Gary Donegan. He's pulled off to the side at Lesmo 1. So I think Eloy Mark, no, he's invalid as well. Come on guys, stop letting us down here. We want to see some laps being put on the board.
XCI Dan is the next one. And he pulls towards the inside, comes across the line to take a tight line, and 119.4 into P10.
Slots in just in front of his teammate XCI Dan. We see him so often, just a bit down and where he wanted to grid, and that's holding him back in this championship fight. Arrow Dillon is also coming through the parabolic curve now, getting up to the white line on the exit there, cuts it back in, flooring it to the line, and here goes P4 then, a 119.0 right there with Cookie Games. So that's the pretty solid lap from Dillon. He establishes himself as potentially a leading contender. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how it all shapes up. I'm just looking to see anyone further on laps. I think one of the only people that's on a lap at the moment is Maurice, actually, who's just come through Lesmo 2. So let's see who he gets on there through the second half of this lap.
Yeah, and he comes across, of course, once again, these are immense speeds coming across. 345 there. It's 4 tenths up, and Matty picks up a 5-place grid penalty with a collision with his teammates.
I think that was going into, must have been going into the pit lane because they both just come in now. Yeah, it looked like it.
Maurice on a decent lap though, it looks like, coming down, braking at a bit before the 50-meter board, flips the curb on the inside and lets it roll out wide, and opens up, takes the tight line as possible to gain the most time as possible, and he's into P9 then.
Very tight in that midfield at the moment then. A 0.4 is putting you P14, but a 0.3 can put you P8 then. So very close down there, but you have got a couple of leading contenders up at the front. One of them, Cookie Games, is going down towards Ascari. As you mentioned, it's such a technical corner there, but he's a 10.5 down on his time if he thinks he can improve further there. Flies it through the iconic corner there, a little bit sideways on the exit there, has to wrestle it back under control, but he's got it covered now as he fires the car down there on all cylinders towards Parabolica. Down 5th gear, 4th gear to rotate the car back up to 5th, short shift to get the traction now on the throttle again. I think he's going to pull into the pits actually, so he's not improving on the time for the moment then. He's going to have to go again. McCrew, as he just mentioned, out the final corner now, flooring it to the line. Also nearly in the 19s there, 19.0, and he's up into contention there, just over a 10th off provisional pole.
Nico into P7.
Goes well, improving there, just 3/10 pole and 7th, very tight at the moment then, and I'm sure there's much more to come. Don't go anywhere. 5 minutes to go. Morgan also improving there, just a hair quicker than Nico. Very tight, very competitive. 5 minutes to go. Let's see how they get on.
And it's Oisin coming down to Parabolica, and he has been looking good into P9 so far, but I don't think he's on an improvement at the moment. It looks like it's a bit of the quiet part, of course, with people just preparing for the last run.
Well, I think Oisin was aborted his last lap, and now he's going for one again there. He may not get another one after this, though. He's going to have to be quick. We'll see if he's able to pull that one off there, but the Williams is going to continue onward through Curva Grande now, up into 8th gear. Then again, the speed just claiming. It's absolutely phenomenal there. Great experience for the drivers as well. He's about a 10th down on his time then, so he's going to have to try and make up for it there as he comes with De La Roggia a little bit wide onto the dipping 2 wheels into the gravel, but he's still pushing hard then. Lesmo 1 takes a curb on the inside, runs it back out to the outside there, tries to get as close to the grass as he can. Going to Lesmo 2 again, so tight to the gravel, really flirting with the track limits here on this lap as Oisin now, but then towards Ascari now on this lap. He's still just over a 10 down. We'll see if he can improve there. Takes a nice chunk of curb on the inside and a pretty clean exit as well, keeps it flat for the third part of the corner there. May gain him some time. We're going to have to wait and see. 3.5 minutes to go with several drivers now on outlaps preparing for their final run. It's the crucial point in this session there where everything can be changed. I think Oisin's backed off that though, because he has turned his ERS down. So he's going to sacrifice this run, maybe go for another one. I can see a driver that's just started his lap, and that is Super Gamer, navigating to Retifilio there on what could be his final quick lap of the session. We'll see how he gets on there. Going through Cover Grande there. Currently 17th, he's got work to do. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Yeah, and he comes down into another difficult braking, so you want to take a lot of the curves here in both turn 4 and 5, as Supergame does nicely. Don't run it wide on the exit, and he does not. Come down into Lasmo 1, difficult technical corner, keep it, but not let the car slide away from you. Down into Lasmo 2, and again, a difficult corner, but probably a bit easier. Opens the DRS, and just powers it down up into Ascari. And he's 5 tenths up, so this could be a decent time for the Alpha driver. And quite conservative as he invalidates, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be barely disappointing. He still has time getting another lap. So, one driver that is on a lap though, Gary Donegan there, your championship leader. Will he wrest a professional pole from Calibre 195? He has to head down though in the first sector there, so he's going to have to make up for lost time as he navigates through De La Roggia now into the two Lesbo corners there. Very aggressive, takes a lot of entry speed, runs it onto the outside curve, scoops it back in now for Lesbo 2, runs it onto the outside curve again there, using as much of the track as he can, trying to pull the time back. Of course, we're still waiting for a lot of drivers to cross the line there. The order he got right now could not be it at the end. He pulls back a little bit of time second sector, but still not enough. Can he do it? Make up the difference in the third sector. Heavy over the curb there through Ascari, saves the oversteer though. He's going to get some slipstream from his teammate QVR Nico there as he barrels down towards Parabolica there. Nico pulls off to the side, leaving Gary to navigate the final turn. Takes it nicely onto the inside curb, onto the AstroTurf now. Can he topple Killer Blue at the top of the timesheets there? Gary across the line, 18.8, just about good enough for pole for the minute. Of course, still a long way to go respectively, and still a lot of threat for Gary, but he has your professional pole for the moment there. Lots of quick drivers still to come though.
Yeah, Maledictus coming across the line, sets himself into P6 then. One of the Mercedes guys just starting a lap, and don't see anyone really close to starting or finishing the laps.
Dylan wasn't a lap, backed off it then. The crew's just started a lap. I'm looking to see someone that's maybe a little bit further progressed. I've just caught Nico, yeah, that's a good point actually. So there he is there, the Spaniard. He's about 300s down in his time through the first sector there, but it's early days in the lap and he might still be able to improve. This will probably be his final lap then, so he's going to have to make it count, but he's a 10th down though. He's going to have to try and pull back some time through Ascari there, runs it onto the outside curb. Clip takes a nice little curb on the third part of the corner, but it's nice and clean, no real oversteer, no drama for the Spaniard there in the racing point. Now down towards the final turn of this 10 turn Monza track. Turns in very early for Parabolica there, runs it out onto the outside curve. Killer Blue will not improve on his time though, so he will finish no higher than second. To the line is Nico now, only improves slightly. He will end up still at best P9. We're waiting. Where's Cookie Games? He's just coming into the Ascari curve now. He's a 10th up on his time then, but he's going to have to find a little bit more if he wants pole, and he's very messy through the corner there. Gets a bit of oversteer. He's going to keep it going though. Can he improve? White goes up into 7th. Still many times still to come there. B Morgan goes 9th. Now final turn, Cookie Games then, championship contender, runs it out onto the throttle now, 7th gear, now towards 8th to the line there. Does he take pole position away from Gary Donegan? Yes, it's an 18.6 and just over 10th clear. Isn't over yet though, still got Dylan. Maledictus will not set a time. Oysen is coming out the final corner, but he's invalid, so I think it's going to be down to Dylan then to decide it, but he runs wide and that's going to be invalid as well. So I think that is going to wrap it up then. Cookie Games snatching pole position from Gary Donegan at the death in another thoroughly entertaining qualifying session then. That was a lot of fun. Cookie takes pole position, but Gary, as per usual it seems, right alongside him then. Oh boy, we're in for a good one.
Yeah, and it looked once again really close in the midfield as well. It's, P4 to P8 is all within the 10th, and the same goes basically for P9 and to P11. Just it's once again so close. Cookie Games snatches pole position.
Close as it might have been, it is Cookie on pole for this Italian Grand Prix. But Cookie, you didn't quite get the 18.2 that you were promising to win the bet with me. So Unfortunately, that's a disappointment for you. I'm pretty sure that meant more to him than getting pole position, to be honest. So, but Cookie, nonetheless, on pole, just over Ted Clare. Gary, Killer Blue in a good position there, third place. You never know what could happen on the run towards the Retifilio there on the first lap. Recru gets a solid fourth there ahead of his compatriot Dylan in fifth, Maledictus sixth, Watchbar Y seventh, Rick rounds out the fourth row eighth, Morgan and Nico at the top 10. Cars that will have free choice tyres: Oysen, Carmentalist, Maurice, Mark, Dan, Daniel, Harry Noir, Super Gamer, Matty and Jaco failed to set times because Jaco was quite unfairly disqualified, unfortunately. So that will be it then. Qualifying is done. But of course, that's not even half the battle, because here we go then. 27 laps ahead of us in the Temple of Speed. And I'll come to you, Verstappen, there. For this race, who's your money on?
It's going to be a difficult one, because of course so many things can happen, as the DRS will definitely play into the hands of the people just behind the lead. I'm going to say it's a surprise. Killer Blue is going to take this one.
Okay, of course, he was very close to a podium last time out. He's been right in the hunt for it. I believe he has got a podium as well this season. But he's been getting quicker, and now he's been a consistent fixture up at the front of the field, so I don't think that's a bad shout. We'll see how that one goes. Of course, the battle between Cookie and Gary will be ever exciting, and I hope that it goes the distance in this race, because that would be something else. Because as much as Cookie and Gary have been rivals, and as much as how entertaining this season has been, I don't think we've had many races where they've just gone at it with each other for the full distance. And I guess that's what we want to be treated to. We can dream. Hopefully it comes to fruition. But anyway, as we'll come to you then, looking particularly outside the top 10, let's look at these tyre choices, because I'm just having a look at this now. We've got a bit of a mix here.
Yeah, there's a few fair drivers opting for the mediums, and it's expected that the strategy will be soft and mediums, or vice versa, basically. But it's Oysen, Carmentalist, Maurice, Mark, Harry Noir, Jaco and Matty opt into place their bets basically on the second part of the race, and perhaps steal something away at the final few laps, as they'll be on the softs at the end. And Dan, Daniel and Super Gamer just opted for the softs, trying to follow the leaders basically.
Well, of course, those three guys with the best tyres in the field, they've got all the pressure on them then to try and make up places. As for the other guys on the mediums, of course, same as usual, you want to just try and stay damage free. Maybe if you can keep up with the leaders, and you're in great shape for the rest of the race. So look for people like Oysen potentially for being a fixture later on. Of course, I think contenders for the race went. Oh dear, Killer Blue. I was going to say.
Commentator's curse, isn't it?
Oh, why? No, because I was going to say contenders for the race win basically the entire top 20, but that's so unfortunate for Killer Blue. He will take control of his car hopefully pretty soon if he gets back in, but he will miss essentially the first couple of laps of this race, and that will do him some harm. But he will get back in, and we'll see if he's able to recover from it. But anyway, we won't let that take away from the start. He's able to get back in quite swiftly, but he wouldn't have control of his car just yet, unfortunately. Probably not too far away from that, but Cookie will take his spot on the front of the grid. Gary Dondigan right there with him. The two title rivals accompanying each other once again on track then. 27 laps at the Temple of Speed ahead of us there. 20 drivers ready. We got 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out now, and Cookie Games leads him away from the line there. Gary Donegan looks like he's going to try and tuck it back, get a slipstream on the run down towards turn 1 there. They get a battle away behind for P3 as well as Killer Blue's car. As again, he's out the session though, so we're going to look further back there as McCrew, wheel to wheel, Wet Dylan, through the Retifilio there, looks to get the exit, ahead of the Torosso and ahead. How we all clean there, further back in the grid, got a couple of cars backing up just a little bit. I think we're all good then, as they cruise down again towards De La Rogia for the first time. Cookie Games still leads there. Gary Donegan trying to put pressure on him. McCrew on the inside gets past the Killer Blues AI car there. Again, hopefully get back in quite quickly. Morgan, I think, has made a mistake going through De La Rogia there. He's going to drop back several places there behind Carmentos, Mark and Oysen, all on those medium tyres there. Oyson's made a great start up to 9 on those slower tyres, and if he can keep up with the leaders, who knows, as of course everyone moving past Kimbo's car. I think he might have taken control of it though, as he's going to be wheel to wheel almost with Rick, who looks to the inside of his car, doesn't quite commit to it. Cookie has got the dream start, he leads it, but he's going to be coming under pressure there. Gary trying to stick with him there. 2 sectors down in this race, still the field close up then, and boy oh boy do we have a good race ahead of us.
I think we might have a small race. It's also out of Muscari. That's very unfortunate for the Renault driver, and there's a few battles down the grid. I think Morgan just got past Mark, then was looking for the position changes. Was pretty close still.
Oyson has a bit of a run on YHYY there, goes towards the inside, towards turn 1, has he gone on the brakes? So YHYY brakes later on the outside, and he's gonna keep that position in 8th place in front of the Irishman there. Does Oyson fancy a run back at him though? I'm looking further down the field there as Matty has forced his way past Daniel down there at De Retifilio. So looking further up the grid there, Oyson's got a lot of straight line speed there, trying to close down YHYY, feints to the inside towards De La Roja, hangs back for now though. The crew has got out, Cookie's round out of De La Roja. I don't know what's going on there, but he's off on the gravel. He's going to drop well down. I have no idea what's going on there, but the championship contender goes from first to last in a blink of an eye. Gary's inherited that lead now, and he's got McCrew chasing him down. What's going on there though? Drama for the championship. Gary has an opportunity to compound the woes of the Slovenian there. He leads the race, McCrew out on, and what an air traffic to Cookie. And McCrew's off!
McCrew's out, and there's a safety car out now.
Oh my word. 2 leading contenders out.
I think what happened to Cookie was that the turn 5 curb basically messed him over. Just, yeah, he got over it too much fully. Let's see, is anyone gonna opt to just go into the pits?
I see a racing point, that's Nico.
Is Nico going for it? And will it go into the hearts? I wonder. Super Gamer is still opting for the same, Daniel's opting for the same, and Cookie Games is opting for the same as well. So let's see which tires we see on these guys. It looks like Nico's going onto the mediums. Super Game's in the same.
Super Gamer on hards actually, so is Cookie.
Yeah, Cookie's on hards.
So Cookie.
So Super Gamer and Cookie probably opting to finish the race, and then would not be a worst bet ever. They'll not have to pit anymore, and every one of these guys have. So let's see how that pans out later on.
Of course, other safety cars that could play a role in that as well. So Cookie Games may not be out of this just yet, and it's absolutely vital, imperative that he gets a good result in this race with Gary up at the front and looking like he's going to score big points, barring disaster for the Irishman. Cookie Games needs to put in the performance of his life here to stay in it. Disaster is struck for him. He's down, but he's not out, and Gary will know that fine well. He's going to stay clean and mistake free at the front. We've still got, at the end of this lap, 24 laps of drama ahead, and what you've seen now will only be a taster for what's to come. Gary in pole position to extend his championship lead at the moment then, but as we've seen in D2, nothing is guaranteed.
Definitely not. So a few drivers, of course, due to a few guys pitting, position changes are a bit different, but Matty has made a decent start, coming from last up to P12 now. So he's quite recovered from his qualifying. Yeah,
he and Jekyll have both moved up pretty comprehensively off that start, being able to pick their spots well. They're looking pretty good at the moment then. But of course, what this is going to do, this safety car period, is it's going to allow the soft runners to save their tyres there and keep them on the island for a bit longer. So that may hurt them a little bit at the end of this race then. It won't be a major difference, but it will certainly have something of an impact, and in D2, the smallest margins make the biggest differences. As the runners seem to be clawing themselves back onto it, we should get back to racing on this lap then, and hopefully for a good while yet. So the order we've got then may not stand. As you look at the tyres, a lot of guys with the fresher tyres at the back. We'll see how Super Gamer and Cookie progress, especially as they look to go to the end then. Gary, how do you think he's going to control this restart for Verstappen there? Is he going to go early, go late? But I think no matter what happens there, he's going to be desperate to hold this lead.
I'm opting for him to go out of Parabolica, probably. It's just the most obvious spot. Maybe he throws in a surprise, we don't know. Because as McCrew has now left the session, of course, will not be happy with that.
Yeah.
That incident. As Gary, as the safety car, will go in this lap. Let's see how Gary handles this. And slows the pack right down at the moment.
The 19 cars left in this race then, raring to go then. Near 19,000 horsepower. And that's what Gary's controlling at the front there. He dictates the pace. When will he go then? He's in overtake mode. He's got all the power available then to try and kick off and get this race back underway then.
And he goes.
Everyone ready to go, and away he goes then towards Parabolica there. He's saying he might spring a surprise then, and he may have just got a break. But actually, he's slowed it up again, so he didn't go fully. And Keller Blue and Dylan both stacked up behind him. Now he goes, but he's not got much of a jump. Does Dylan have a run in there? He's right in the slipstream there towards De La Roggia there for the 5th time in this race. Here comes Dylan then. Does he look to the inside? Gary covers it to the outside. It's going to be there towards the first chicane. Looks to the outside. No, Gary has it covered, and he holds on to the lead. Runs deep though. Dylan tries to cover it back round the outside of turn 2 and towards turn 3 there. Cover almost on the inside though. Gary's going to cover off yet again. They're looking how close the top 3 are there. All 3 nose to tail then. The order could change so quick. Dylan right there with Gary. Which side is he going to with Eloise Martin? Gets on the inside, locks up, and around that's Oyton. Oyton off in the wall there through the De La Roggia chicane, and several cars coming to blows down there. And I think there's another car around. Incident Lesbo 1, that's why I saw that was off there. He drops back with Maledictus.
Well. There's a lot of chaos down. Not great. Cookie Games is one white as well.
And he's going to be side by side with YY there. In fact, the Finn, no, he's going to sit back for now. Cookie Games is going to have to get on with things then. Got to regain his composure then. Super Gamers had a very good start to the safety car period then. As side by side through a Scary then. And Daniel's going to come off worse then. In that battle, Maledictus as well is slow out the corner. And I think his car's pulling. I don't know if he's got a puncture. Because that, I don't know, that seems very odd. Looks like he's got back up to speed now. Manic stuff then on this restart. Gary Donegan still leads it then from Arrow Dillon, and the top 4 are still very close together then. They're all holding on to this lead. Carmentless to P6 though.
I watch Dan and Mark going side by side. And Dan trying it around the outside of turn 1. Then Mark brakes later and keeps the position.
Of course, Dan will be getting more grip from those tires. So Killer Blue was very close to the back of Dylan. These guys can't mess around, you know. They battle too hard there. They drop away from Gary. Gary's going to look to keep focused, try and get that lead out. And of course, if you lose the DRS at this track, it's a major advantage then. So, I'm very eager to see this battle between Mark and Dan. Of course, the disadvantage that Dan has is that Mark still has, will have the DRS once it comes into play then, very shortly. And that's what Dylan's got to try and avoid. They're getting dropped by Gary. The gap's 7 tenths there. He's just got to find another 2.5 tenths and away clear. So Gary's going to be really pushing in, trying to get it out. And of course, if he can pull out ahead of, well, 1 second clear, that's going to serve him well. But Dylan's still keeping with him for now.
Yeah, and behind B Morgan, you can see there's a big gap, 2.7 seconds. So those mediums can't just stay with the train at the front. But Dylan looks to be quite close, as I think Haas is off. I think that's Daniel. But Dylan is close enough, sets a fast lap off the race and pulls into the slipstream. I don't think he's close enough as he has his ERS turned down. Anyone further down the grid opting to make a move then.
Dan is close to Mark. Mark as well, trying to hone in on Matty in front of him. Of course, 3 drivers ahead of Dan on the mediums. So the Dutchman's going to have to try and work his way through, and of course he's going to try and make sure he's clean. Harry right there with Jacob there. These guys on the same age tyres there. It's an even fight then as the Renault picks up the slipstream from the Britain and the McLaren there, but hangs back for now. Dylan's still staying with Gary up at the front. That's what you got to watch out for as Matty's off. Matty makes a mistake through De La Roggia there. He's going to be wheel to wheel with Jacob through Lesbo 1, and just about able to hold in that 9th place, but Jekyll's going to be raring to go and trying to get that move done. DRS is now in play as Jekyll's going to pull alongside Matty there further back. Nico's going to pull alongside Harry Noir there and further down the field there, but Jekyll and Matty going barreling down towards the sky there. Matty has the inside line, but Jekyll's later on the brakes, runs a bit wide though, and both of them on the outside just a little bit, but Jekyll has that 9th place in, and he's going to be coming with the threat. Eventually there, Dylan is right there with Gary. Gary's going to have to try and force the exit. Parabolica runs wide though, and that could be putting him under serious threat there. Dylan may try and wrest the lead from the Irishman there. They start lap 8 in this Italian Grand Prix. Here comes Dylan then, tucked in underneath the rear wing, to the outside there. Does Gary have enough to hold this one? Dylan's got a good run. He's up and alongside and through. Further back, Morgan sweeps past Rick as well on the straight, but runs wide at turn 1. That's going to give the Finn maybe a chance of fading back. And exit Morgan is sideways and takes out Rick. Nothing they can really do about that. Rick is round, has to recover, and he's going to drop well down the field. Gutting, well, absolutely horrific luck for Rick then. But Dylan now has the race lead and still badly going up and down. Dan has found his way past Mark. The Ferrari still right there with him. There's a little tap going to Del Roger there. A lot of battling going on. Dylan now has the race lead, but Gary's not done with yet.
Definitely not, and Gary will be looking to get back as he has the closing speed on Dylan. He tries it and gets held up a bit. Can Kill Blue benefit from this? Don't think he can. Gary just stays behind for now. This leading pack looks to be again away from the rest now. Yeah, Gary gets past Kill Blue as the DRS the slipstream as well.
Are they both going to get past Dylan here? Killer Blue backs off there, so Dylan is going to be under threat then, gives up the DRS to Gary Donning, and I think he's going to try and get better exit off the corner. These guys battle too much, could have let the likes of B Morgan back in. We'll see what goes down there as Dylan gets caught in 6th gear a little bit, undercut attempt. Killer Blue is in the pits down on lap 8, and now Dylan pulls to the outside once again on Gary Donning, and getting deja vu here to the outside, and he clears him on the straight then. So Killer Blue is in then, looking to jump the front two, and we'll see if that pays off then. Still a massive train. Really behind Dan, leaving them all up there, and then going in. Oh, so they're part of this group, so they're not out of things either. They've both done a great job there, and Cookie now on the recovery. He's going to try and get past Super Gamer, still so close at the front there, but now Killer with that undercut is going to wrestle the lead from Dylan. Find out later.
Yeah, and let's see how Killer Blue comes out, because he's about 13 seconds behind Maurice then. So that could be very interesting if Dylan and Gary will follow him into the pits this lap. Let's see how that plays off. Gary once again quite close to the back of Dylan, but has CRS turned down, so he won't really do anything.
Oh, Dylan with a penalty.
That's quite crucial. Gary has a bit of gaining speed on Dylan, but keeps his ERS down, so maybe he is going to go into the pits. Jacob's right on the back of Mark. Can he do something? He looks to be staying in the back as well. Cookie gets past Super Gamer, which at a place I don't expect. Harry side by side with Matty then, down into Parabolica.
On the inside is the Renault there as they round the final turn. Both of your leaders are in the pits there as well as B Morgan is off the track. That's our Lottie Matty there, was pulled off outside of Parabolica. There are yellows down there in sector 3. They've cleared now as Nico's right there on the back of Jekyll. Jekyll himself pulls towards the inside of Mark, then backs off on the brakes. Mark aggressively cuts him off but runs wide. I saw Matty was out of the race then. I'm not sure what's going on there as Jekyll back alongside Eloise Mark then, looking to that lead fight. Looks like Killer Blue is going to jump both of them then. Killer Blue up in a 10th on track there, and now he's got the likes of Super Gamer and Cookie Games trying to hunt down up the road. Jekyll is going to sit behind, but now Killer Blue has that lead. He's out of DRS as well, and Gary's dropped back as well. So Killer Blue now has got to really work. He's about, well, with the progress Cookie Games is making, he might not be out of this one yet. Killer Blue's got work to do. He's 11 seconds behind Super Gamer. Let's see how he gets on.
Yeah, definitely they have to close up the Killer Blue, Dylan and Gary then, but Jacob is now on the back of Mark once again. Mark to Fennec towards the inside, goes back towards the outside. Jacob looking on the inside. Is he close enough? Contact, and they're both off into the graph. I don't think they have major damage. Don't do a Vettel here. So a few cars come quite close to Mark in that case. We don't, of course, want to see a crash there. That'd be quite bad indeed. No, yeah, a few drivers have pitted. The on-track action is a bit cooled down, as Dan is now into the pit as well, and that promotes everyone up a space. Jacob once again on the back of Mark. It's basically out of ERS. He's still gonna try it around the outside, and he should be popped before the braking zone. Mark is he gonna try it? He has a bit of a look, but stays behind. He's too far back.
Jake will clear Mark finally then, but I don't think that battle's anywhere near done. B. Morgan has gone out ahead of Dan. Dan's not going to be too far behind, although he's going to have some ground to make up. He has fresher tyres though than all those leaders. We'll see if the events transpire there to put him in contention later on in this race. We'll have to wait and see, but he is going to have an undercut on some of the cars that he was fighting. Killer Blue's lead beginning to Gary. The pace to keep this going. Killer Blue looks very impressive out in front as Gary's rapidly honing in on Arrow Dillon there, winning this race. He's going to have work to do. Gary now on Dillon there, net P2, but of course Super Gamer and Cookie up ahead. These guys can't afford to drop much time then, or they'll end up behind at the end of the race.
Yes, Cookie Games is at the moment in the DRS of Nico, so I don't think he'll dislike that. As Gary got past Dillon, that's quite the odd place. Maybe Dillon has made a mistake then, but Gary is past and up into P10. Jekyll now on the back of Super Gamer, by the way.
Yeah, Jekyll making fast progress up the field then. He's still running low in his ERS, but he does have that DRS and slipstream to make up for it there. Pulls to the inside, runs into the back of the Alfa Romeo slightly. He's going to make this overtake a bit more difficult, but he has the tyre advantage up the inside now. Super Gamer is not going to give it up though. He's round the outside of Dero Fittipaldi. First part of the corner, second part of the corner though. Jekyll swoops round and takes P6 then. He's going to look to keep that upward trend. Cookie Games then, right there, on the back of Nico, to the inside, round the outside of Corver Grande there, to the inside of to De La Rosia, and Cookie Games is through then. And it has been a great recovery drive from Cookie so far. He's got a multitude of cars between himself and his nearest challengers, and at the moment there, don't rule him out of this, you know. Haven't seen how it unfolds later on then, but currently Cookie Games looking excellent there, and P2 on track now.
Yeah, but he's got to make those tyres last. What I think we'll be doing, but they won't be as fast as the newer mediums of Gary and Dillon and Kilber as well, of course. So Mark is now on the back of Super Gamer. Super Gamer falling through a bit, not looking like he's liking those hards a lot. Mark is closing up, but he might just wait for a move down into the chicane next time out.
Is Nico trying to do his teammate a favour here? He's got the slipstream off of Cookie Games, so he's not got his ERS turned up then. He's still closing rapidly on the Red Bull there. He's going to cruise up to the inside towards turn 1 then. He's going to get that move done there on the brakes. Cookie Games yields the place. Mark up past Super Gamers, well, both the hard runners slipping back just a little bit there. Mark up to 7th, Nico up to 2nd on track then. Of course, those guys still have to pit then with the hard runners doing knob. Gary Donegan is beginning to close down on Killer Blue. Makes a bit of an error though through the first chicane, and that progress is all but undone then. He's going to have to get back to it. Killer Blue looks like he's got some strong pace here, but he's still got to navigate Super Gamer up the road, who will be going to the end of this race then. And of course, there'll be a few laps yet before these medium runners, these medium starters I should say, start pitting. But to go still yet. And currently, your guys that were leading early on, looks like if they want to win this, they got some overtaking to do.
One person who you can't rule out for the race win here is Commentalist. He's 5 seconds ahead of all these guys, and he'll be on the soft at the end. Who knows what progress he can make.
Currently, he leads the race. Compared to, versus Killer Blue, the gap's about 14 seconds. So that means it won't be too far behind. Of course, it'll be rapid at the end of the race, but that gap between him and Killer Blue will probably come down substantially over the next few laps then. So I don't think he'll be waiting it. I think he'll wait a little bit more to pit, probably be pitting around about 16 or 17. And that's when his charge at the end may just begin. Looking a little bit further up then. Do we have any on-track action? Cookie Games on the back of Nico. I think he's quite content sitting behind him though. They have caught Carmentos a little bit on that last lap. And what's the closest we've got on track? I think it is this battle actually. Cookie Games close to Nico, going into De La Rogia. Sits back for now then. He's going to try and stay penalty free as well then behind the racing point. And currently he's content sitting behind the Spaniard then. Still though, now Killer Blue within 4 seconds of the group ahead. So now he's going to try and get himself up onto the back of him then, to not go anywhere. There's a lot of racing ahead of you. And still Killer Blue holds that lead over Gary. Can Gary reel him in? We'll find out later. Killer Blue still holding his own with the leading car that's pitted in this race. Looking good for the moment there, but still a long road ahead of him.
Yeah, and there's not really any on-track battle. I think Cookie and Nico are still the closest here, with Harry Noirk luring in behind as well. And if any of these makes a mistake, he'll be the first one to get past them. Cookie James, he has to run, it looks like, on Nico. Has the DRS right now. Nico has turned his engine completely down. Cookie looks to be passed right now.
Cookie glides past Nico towards turn 1 there. Jaco as well. Right there, and further back, Mark. Super Gamer cruising past. A lot of DRS action we're seeing down there. I don't think Mark's going to be too happy with that, because he gets a switchback on the exit of turn 2 there, but Super Gamer holds it just about round the outside of Curva Grande. No, Mark can't quite find the momentum to get round the Alfa Romeo. Has to sit behind for now then. As they go towards turns 4 and 5, he has to wait there behind. Killer Blue within 3 seconds of this battle now. He's going to have his teammate to navigate. He probably won't put up much of a fight. We'll see what transpires then. Still close on track battling there. Cookie Games is showing very, very impressive pace on these hards. I tell you what, the gap between him and Killer Blue still stands at around about 7 seconds. So I wouldn't count him out of this, you know. Just over 12 laps to go. Cookie Games may well be in with a chance of potentially stealing a race win here. We're going to have to wait and see. I certainly think he's in the picture for the podium. Going to have to just sit back and wait for the outcome of these battles then. Carmentals comes over the line to start lap 16. Expect pit stops from these medium starters pretty soon. And of course, don't go anywhere. We're waiting to see there. As Mark, I see him, he's right there with Super Gamer as well. He's got overtake mode. I think he wants to try and repass him at 350 kilometers an hour. Late defensive move, Super Gamer. Mark goes into the grass then, trying to get around the Alpha, but he's still on the outside there. Through the Retifili there. They make contact through both parts of the corner then, and off on the exit at turn 2. And that's going to promote your soft starters there, your early race leaders, up past, and then Super Gamer. That's a huge blow to his race. Same with Mark. Jaco as well, yep, under pressure from Harry Noirk as well, as they have a look down into Lesmo 1 there. Jaco and Harry swoop it through these medium speed corners in, as they're beginning to catch Carmentos up the road as well then. So drama down there at turn 1 and 2, and more yellows.
Let's be Morganov.
He's lost his front wing.
That's quite important, as Dan coming in behind. And there's a virtual safety car, and that's going to help the medium starters quite a lot if they decide to piss.
I think this is prime for these guys there. Carmentos now, he's just got to hope it lasts long enough, and he could gain a huge amount of time from this now. Let's see. The Toro Rosso, if I were in his possession, I'd be paying every day of the week, and in he comes now. Carmentos, he's going to have fresher tyres. You cannot rule him out, you know. What was his gap to Killer Blue? I think it was about 10-11 seconds. So I tell you what, Cookie Games will take the lead of this race now, and of course a absolute barrage of medium runners now into the pits, presumably for soft. Carmentos gets out fine then. DRS enabled, they're back underway racing then. Where is Killer Blue? In fact, he's already through, so he's up in the second now. Carmentos is going to be out clean air, 6th place there. Mark has actually stayed out, interestingly, there. He's going to hold up Dylan, but now Carmentos on the charge potentially there. Got 11 laps to go in this race then. Don't go anywhere. Hit the gap from Carmentos to Cookie Games is about, I'm just checking, 15-16 seconds, but he will be a hell of a lot quicker. So we'll see the Toro Rosso man's charge then through the field. Cookie still leads it then, but it's not over yet. A lot of different strategies converging up at the front then. Cookie leads, Killer Blue 5 seconds behind then, 10.5 laps to go.
Yeah, and basically Cookie needs to, well, he can lose 5/10 a lap basically, a bit less. That would keep him at. So let's see if he manages to do that on those hards. Will be a tough task. Let's see if he can do it. Further down you have Nico closing onto the back of Jaco. Don't think he's close enough for a move into Ascari just yet. He's closing up though. If any move's gonna happen, it's gonna be on the straight. Same with Dylan. He's on the back of Mark. And Mark's still not pitting.
And Mark's staying out for a very long time. I'm surprised he didn't come into the pits there, and he may just be bait, but he's still side by side with Dylan actually. Dylan, a bit of a struggle, but he is going to move up into 4th place then on the road there. He's fallen off just a little bit from the 2 guys he was fighting with earlier on then, but he's still on for a good result here in Monza. Killer Blue, I have to say, still a splendid job so far. As Nico as well, he's going to be up there with Jaco there into turns 1 and 2. Jaco gets a better exit off the corner there, puts it up into overtake mode. He's going to be feisty, hungry to try and fight back there. The McLaren tucks in underneath the rear wing of the Racing Point, but he turns the ZRS back down and he is going to sit back for the moment. Killer Blue, you mentioned that half a second a lap there. At the moment, he may not be doing enough, you know. Of course, Car Mentalist is absolutely rapid then, honing in on Mark up ahead, and Killer's got to get a move on here. Cookie Games is doing enough. He's got plenty of ERS as well then. He may have made a genius strategy call there, and he's currently having the skills to pay the bills. He's driving superbly up at the front then, but still 9 laps as they cross the line ahead of the Slovenian there. He's made the best of a bad situation, the absolute best I have to say. Killer's still hunting him down though. They come over the line. Lap 19 commences down this Italian Grand Prix. And still that battle for 8th rages on there. Nico leads Jaco, leads Harry down there. But who's going to come out on top of that battle for the lead there? Mark finally in, Watch White in. Or Watch White out, I should say.
And that brings us another virtual safety car. Well, that helps Mark again a bit. And he'll be looking to get on those first stops then. White lost it out of Ascari. Difficult corner as been said before, and on the quite worn tires, 12 lap old mediums, he's lost that, unfortunately. Mark and also Rickon, by the way.
Interesting there. So Rick, the former D1 runner-up there in the pits then, as we get back to racing then. That little reset may just help Cookie there keep that lead, but he has actually dropped some time on the restart, I've just noted there. Killer Blue now within 4 seconds of him, so he's managed to get more of that VSC, and now the gap is 3.8 then, with 8.5 laps to go. So Cookie's going to have to work hard for this now. That's going to hold back the charge of Car Mentalist as well, and he's got to get back on it, but he's not far behind either. The gap between our top 5, I think we may have 5 contenders for this race win just yet then. Of course, the gap there, Car Mentalist is still 12 seconds off the lead then, but it's still gaining fast then. Dan now on older tyres. Nico right on the back of him, closing him down then towards Parabolica there. I don't think Dan's going to fight this much there. Nico pulls alongside towards the final corner on the Monza track, and he is going to get in front there, and Dan's going to let Jaco through as well then. So Jaco moves up in the 7th there, and he may just take 6th in just a couple of seconds time then, because here he comes now off against Nico there. DRS will be open now then. The Spaniard goes middle of the road there, gives both options available. Jaco pulls to the outside, but the no match then, complete mismatch as Jaco powers up in a 6th place ahead of Nico. Harry trying to keep up with these guys now. He's just struggling to stay in that DRS, but Dan is going to help him out there. May provide a bit of a stepping stone to the front. And the gap,
Nico closing to the back of Jaco.
Brownie outside.
Down the inside of turn 4. Can he make this one work? Late on the brakes. They go side by side into the chicane.
Better contact.
Leave each other just about enough space. Jaco comes out ahead.
Good driving from both of them there not to go off. It's very difficult to go side by side, but Jaco and Nico make it work. Jaco holds P6 on the McLaren, but it looks like both these guys are willing to throw the punches, put up a fight against each other there. Nico now has the slipstream in DRS and towards the sky there. Looks like he's going to commit to this there. Pulls back alongside towards the inside of the chicane. Gets his nose ahead. Full car ahead on the brakes. And he is up in his 6th place. It runs a little bit wide. Yellows in sector 2. I think that's Morgan has gone off yet again.
And Super Gamer as well.
Super Gamer getting caught up there. Jaco is coming back at Nico. Breezes past on the straight to Parabolica. This is great racing. These guys swapping and changing. It's like go-karting out there. And they still battle away up there. Dylan letting his teammate through. Car Mentalist takes 4th then. 3 more cars standing his way now. Nico trying to get back at Jaco. Looks to the inside there. Gradually reeling him in. Now pulls inside there. Dan and Harry still staying with these guys. Nico up in a 6th then. They continue to swap, change positions amongst them. And Nico
Jaco looks to have a good exit. Can he get back? I don't think he has ERS is lower than Nico's. So I don't think he'll be closing. He's closing a bit up towards turn 4. Looking towards the outside. Nico goes defensive. Nico holds that position for now though. In behind we have Mark on the back of Maurice. Is he gonna try something? No, he can't. Rick is past Oysen for P13.
What I want to say is, Cookie's pace in the lead of this race is not a bit remarkable, but
Super
out goes Super Gamer there.
He's into the pits.
He's retired in the pit lanes. There will be no safety car then.
Jacob
comes back at Nico once again then. What a battle between these two. He gets on the inside but gets a penalty though as he cuts the first part of the corner there. Nico will try and fight back at him then as Killer Blue is not gaining any time on Cookie. Cookie is doing amazingly. Remarkable that he's staying up in this lead, and right now he's looking at a potential race win. Well, his tyres go the distance, but all these guys will be suffering then. So Cookie Games looking very, very good, I have to say. Can he hold on to this? Could be a remarkable drive. Harry Noir closing down, but he's not got his DRS. Okay, he might have had a failure on it. He's going to sit in behind XCI Dan then. They sit 8th and 9th on the road. But do you think Cookie has this one, you know? Because the gap to Killer Blue is stabilised. It's not coming down much at all there as Mark was past Maurice. So at the moment, Killer needs to find something extra there if he wants this race win. The gap's still 3.5 seconds, then 5.5 laps to go.
Yeah, Oysen gets a speeding penalty and has retired in the pits as well now. But at P6 and Nico is once again, he's quite close to Jacob, but I don't think he's close enough for a move. Don't think Harry Noir is either. It's worse than. I think it's just gonna stay out of this.
So through a scar they go in for the 22nd time in this Italian Grand Prix there. Can Cookie pull this one off then? And I see Neo in the chat, mediums ain't faster. Well, I wouldn't say he's got it in the bag just yet then. Just remember, if you can check the penalties, I don't know if Keller has one. I don't know about the penalty. I know Dylan for one has a penalty, so if you can look for that, that'd be great then. As Nico try to close down Jacob once again in this battle for 6th, but if you can run through that, that'd be great then, because if there are penalties for Cookie, you can put this one wide open still.
Well, I can inform you the top 3 is basically warning clean. I think Gary has actually has 2 warnings on lap 2. I don't know if that's for collisions. No, that's actually for exceeded track limits, so Gary has to watch out. Cookie and Killer are both warning clean.
So
always in his left session. Don't see any move down into turn 4. Maurice is relatively close to Mark, but I don't think close enough either. Has a bit of a look. Not close enough. Stays behind for P12.
Now DRS will be active for QBR Nico then. He's a bit closer to Jacob on this lap, but I think he's going to hold back from a move as well. I don't think Harry Noir had a great run out of Lesmo too, so he's going to sit back as well then from Mercedes in front of him. They're having a bit of a tough time getting past him there, but Dan dropping a bit of time then to the cars in front there, as you'd expect with the tyre situation that they all have. Nico has saved his ERS for he's in a much better position than Jacob. I don't know if there's going to be much of a fight there for McLaren unless it gets a really good exit off Parabolica there, does everything in his power, but I think there's not going to be futile there. Nico pulls to the inside there, goes off track and rejoins it there. He is through on the ILRT driver there. QBR Nico up at his 6th then. They may reel in Dylan by the end of this race. Harry Noir
he's past Dan, and before the braking zone he has the move complete. So that's Harry Noir into P8.
Up at the front then. I don't think Carmentalist is catching quick enough to make an impact on these top 3. But he is looking at P4, which is a very respectful finish as well then. But just take a moment there. Cookie Games, what we're witnessing is maybe the best drive of the season so far then. Gotta remember, he was off the track on the just a few laps into the race then, went for the risky strategy there, and is making it work for the moment. I don't want to curse him, but this has been superlative from the Slovenian. He's going to have 3 laps between himself and the checkered flags. I think there was a car off there coming out of Lesmo 1, that might be Maurice down there. But
yeah, there's a
safety car. Full safety car. Oh my word! Cookie is going to pit. No, this could be dramatic then. Cookie late decision.
Cookie's in.
Late decision. The others are going to stay out. Wow, I absolutely cursed him then. Cookie, does he have enough time to pull it back then? We will, of course, we will get back to racing soon enough. I think we'll only have one lap under it. So Killer
Cookie
Blue
will be behind Jaco, I guess. Maybe behind Harry Noir. It's going to be close.
That's so unlucky for Cookie. What an incredible race he was driving. And he's going to come out behind Harry and maybe even behind Dan. Yes, he will be. Yeah. Cookie from 1st to 9th in the blink of an eye. Unbelievable then.
And I know for a fact Carmentelis and Dylan both have penalties. Who knows? Someone like Nico or Jaco, if they can make progress on those fresher softs, that's what they can do.
Wow. I thought we were actually going to have a somewhat normal race for once, but no. There always has to be one spanner thrown that works there. I think Cookie, I think he should have stayed out. Because I think even if he would have come under pressure there, with just 2 laps
I think the safety it's gonna come in this lap again, because it always goes 2 laps before the end of the race. It goes back in. So we're gonna have a 2 lap sprint race here then.
2 laps in ourselves in the checkered flag, and the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Then, personally, if I were Cookie, I would have stayed. I think he should have stayed out. I think he expected everyone else to pit. But now Carmentelis is in with a great chance of potentially winning. You mentioned he does have penalties though, does he?
Carmentelis and Dylan both have penalties, yeah.
Yeah. So right now it could be between Killer and Gary for your race win up here. As we get prepared to restart things then. 2 laps now. Getting ourselves in the checkered flag. Killer backing them up then towards Parabolica. He may go early there, and away goes Killer Blue then. He's in with a shot of a potential race win there. Of course, no warnings for him, and he cruises clear at the front then. Further down the field, Jaco is side by side with Harry Noir there. I think he got trying to get up alongside him. Cookie Games is going to have a run on the Greek there. He's got better tyres than everyone. He's got to make fast progress in these next 2 laps. He pulls up alongside Harry then towards turn 1 on the outside. Brakes later, cuts to the inside, backs out from a move on Jaco there. Doesn't go one step too far, but he's got to go as far up as he can and salvage it. He may still get a podium out of this, to be fair, with the 2 Toro Rossos having penalties there. Gary right there, Killer Blue. They barreled down towards De La Roche there for the 26th and penultimate time in this race. Cookie has a look at Jaco, doesn't go for on the brakes then. He's got to be decisive with his moves. He's got to move up then, as Meloditis picks up a penalty there. Further up the road, Gary trying to chase down Killer, but Killer has he's had Gary's number in this stint. He's not come under any sort of pressure. Gary's got to find something against her. We've got just over a lap left in this race then. And here in Monza, a crazy end to this race then. It may have cost Cookie Games a chance to get himself right back in this championship fight then. He's got to try and find something on this final lap. He may have a run at Jaco now towards Parabolica to the outside. Desperation's trying to kick in for the Rhino there. He is on the outside of McLaren, can't quite get it though, not enough straight line speed. Dives it down the inside of Parabolica there. Has he got it stopped and turned in? Runs it out. Great move from Cookie. He digs sick. Now Nico's the next one up there, but is Jaco gonna fancy a fight back at the Red Bull now? Here he comes now to the outside. Shut up. To the outside now towards turn 1 then for the final lap in this race there. To the outside as well is Nico there on Dylan, pulls it round on the brakes, gets it done turn 1 there. Cookie does contact out there at turn 1, and Jaco gets caught up on the inside as well. Cookie takes 6th then on the road. Crazy stuff down there. Killer still leads from Gary then. Cookie getting caught up, and that may just cost him a chance of moving up further in this race.
And let's see if Gary will still try to make a move on Killer Blue. Cookie Games picks up a time penalty. That's quite crucial. That ruins any chance as he tries into the last minute to collide with Dylan. Somehow still keeps it on track. He is in the slipstream now to Toro Rosso once again. Is he close enough for a move down into Ascari?
Pulls to the inside, late on the brakes is Cookie. He has to back out of it though. Gary Donegan then trying to, has he got any last ditch effort getting past Killer Blue? Killer is driving such a great race. He's just 1 corner away from the victory then. Gary so close, right there in the back of the Ferrari there. They pull out at the final corner now. He may have a run. Gary dropping it. He loses on the traction then. Drops it behind Carmentelis. I think he's still getting P2. Killer crosses the line. Gary, he had a penalty. What? It's a racing point 1-2. I have no idea what's going on. You said Killer was clean.
I'm pretty sure it was clean, hang on. It was clean.
Wow.
He lagged out at the start of the session, and that is a desync issue. That is a desync issue.
So Killer can get that removed then?
Yeah. So go. I expect Killer Blue to win this one.
A controversial end then here at Monza there. For the moment it's the Racing Point 1-2, but we don't expect it to really stay that way. But Cookie Games ends up P8 then on the final lap. Unbelievable. And that's so unfortunate for Cookie because he had the race pretty much won there. He just did a few laps, that late safety car costing him, and he, I'm certain, will be furious then. A bit of a hollow ending to this Italian Grand Prix then. Gary Donegan, provisional winner. We'll see how everything's affected, of course. We do expect Killer Blue to get his penalty removed, so we can't confirm anything there. Nico ends up on the podium though, and that will stick then. He will get at least P3. So keeping it clean, he's pulled it off then here in Monza. Gary, your provisional winner. I don't really know what to say after that. Because I was not expecting that outcome at all at the end.
Yeah, it's a very crazy end once again. With Gary taking professional win ahead of Nico. Caleb Blue might get that first place back. Dan into P4, Marcus P5. Then we have Carmentalist, Dylan, Cookie Games, Harry Noir, Jekyll, Rick, and Maledictus round out the points paying positions. Maurice, Daniel, and B. Morgan unfortunately not finishing the points, and Oysen, Super Gamer, White for Y, Ireland Team Matty, and Alarm Crew not finishing at all.
I think my screen's kind of glitched out there, so I can't really say much. I think there's a bit of a lobby glitch, but yeah. As for the championship, that's a big race. And there we go, it's just finally got back to it there. But of course, no matter what happens, Gary will still gain more points on Cookie. Cookie drove, in my opinion, an absolutely pitch perfect race, besides the incident down at the start. Of course, he made the mistake, but he looked like he was going to recover from that. Maybe made the wrong call under safety car, and he will end up P8 then. That's huge news in the context of the championship then. Can he fight back and get himself back in? We'll have to find out in a later weeks, but with that all said and done, Monza is down. Still a long way to go in this grueling D2 season then. And to finish things off then, Ahmed Daka, he's been Verstappen. And until next time, we'll see you later.